evening, everyone. It's the Turnbuckle Bandwagon. My name is Matt D. My guest, well, not even guest, friend of the show, Erica Leigh. Erica, what's going on?
Not much. Doing all right. It's been a time. How are you?
I'm okay. Let's just hop right in here. This weekend, big week for you. We got
Down to business.
GCW Fight Forever, 24 hours wrestling extravaganza.
24 hours straight of wrestling. Who asked for that?
We all did, deep inside. We all asked. It will be, I believe, free on the YouTube and the Twitch channel for GCW.
And Fight TV as well.
Yep, there are sponsored blocks happening. You are part of Alley Cat's 12 o'clock block. I believe it's called Real Hot Girl Shit.
Real hot girl shit. I'll be there doing hot girl shit.
You've been doing hot girl shit against Faye Jackson.
Yeah. So I think I might get out hot girled, but we'll see.
How do you, I mean, knowing Faye like you do and knowing the reputation she has, how do you approach that matchup?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm really excited to see what she brings to the table because Faye can do it all. So trying to plan for her is a little bit tough, but I'm gonna try to bank on my quick reaction skills on this one.
Gotcha. And now that's gonna be great. Again, starts 8 o'clock on Friday, goes till 8 o'clock Saturday night. We've got Real Hot Girl Shit. We've also got your friends at Camp Leapfrog with a breakfast block. It's like an 8 o'clock block on Saturday.
9 a.m.
9 a.m. There's going to be a Cybernetico match. Those announcements are coming out.
Yeah. I believe all the team members have been announced. Yours truly was picked for the best campers ever. Boomer Hatfield's team. He's team captain. I'm looking forward to following his leadership to victory. 9 a.m. on Saturday, the 30th. 9 a.m. wrestling. Again, 24 hours of wrestling. Who asked for this? But 9 a.m., a 9-on-9 Cybernetico match. It's going to be amazing. And then noon o'clock is hot girl shit.
Folks, if you've never seen a Cybernetico, tune in for this. You want to see this. These are great matches. You get to see a bunch of great wrestling. And it's an endurance. Like as a wrestler, like this is why you do cardio. These matches right here.
Yes, it is. This is why I climb all those endless stairs, doing the burpees, medicine ball slams, all that stuff.
Is there anyone on the other team that you're particularly wanting to face or haven't faced before?
One person for sure, Masha Slamovich. She's coming back from Japan. This is her first match back on US soil, and she's definitely a person I've had my eye on for a long time. I've wanted to work her for many moons, so if I can get my hands on her, that would be awesome. I mean, you've got people like Matt Mikowski on the other team, which is like, I mean, definitely intimidating, but who wouldn't want to try to go toe to toe with Matt Mikowski?
You got him. Yeah. Very good professional wrestler, has put together quite the squad over there, but Boomer has as well.
Yeah.
It's definitely a clash of like mentality and personality with those two running the teams.
For sure. Yeah. And I mean, with 9 people on each team, you're going to get a lot of different styles, techniques, skills to bring to the table no matter what. But yeah, it's definitely a line in the sand as far as attitude goes between the two teams.
All right. And let's we're going to kind of move into the reason we're kind of here today. Christmas trios. We all saw kind of what happened there. Why don't you kind of give me your summary of Christmas trios, and then we'll move into the meat of the sandwich here.
Yeah, I ate one real hard that day, didn't I? Got hit in the face.
Yes.
Got knocked TF out. But what I remember from that match more than the end would be when I kicked Eel in the face and he tagged out. Do you see that? We had a chance. We had a chance to go toe to toe. We had a chance to do a little something, make a little magic happen. I believe I was taking that pretty seriously when I kicked him in the face, and he turned around and tagged right on out immediately. So, what do you say to that, Eel?
Yeah, we okay. So as everyone knows, I talked with Eel for a bit last week. We had a good
Yeah,
talk.
I watched that.
And a couple things,
Heard what he had to say.
yeah, and I wanted to ask, and the one thing I did clip because I do love a good sound bite, and Eel seems to be good for that. We talked about a lot of things. We talked about wrestling and styles, and
Hmm.
him evolving and the folks he works with. But the one thing he said when we were talking about you and that he felt, and I'm going to quote him verbatim because I've heard the clip a lot, and the clip did get a fair amount of traffic here. Just to make a point, you don't respect him enough to hurt him.
See, yeah, this is Eel talking nonsense again. Once again, this is Eel taking the reality of the situation, flipping it on its head, throwing a red scarf on it, and then representing it to the world.
Okay.
Because what I have said in the past is that Eel doesn't respect me enough to just step in the ring with me. Because there was never a conversation of like, hey, I want to work with you. Hey, we would have a good match. Like, hey, I bet I could beat you. None of that happened. He just out of nowhere said he did not want to work with me. So that was the disrespect that I alluded to in the first round of, verbal confrontations that we've had. And now he's flipping the script on that, which is hilarious. Very funny, Eel.
The rest of the interview kind of seemed to be, he's kind of framed himself as this evolved. He's definitely different from the Eel I saw 2 years ago.
For sure. People change and grow all the time. I don't know that would make him like this evolved person or being like I'm sure, I don't know, picking names up off the ground is a good workout, but if it's just Jonathan Gresham every time, like, oh, doesn't that get tired? Come on, buddy.
So ideally, and you're as your star rises, as we move into post-COVID world and a new normal, and we start getting into wrestling again. When I spoke with Colin West had high praise for you. He
I
did.
had so much fun at Synergy. I had so much fun.
And we back when we talked about, the pure rules and whatever, Eel seems to be on this thing of that you are not who you should be, that you need to be the monster that he knows you are.
Mm, mm.
That if you're going to be, you are violent, you are a beast. That's what he wants to fight. That's what he wants to wrestle. He doesn't want the dancing, the neon, the candy. He wants you to stomp into that ring like a monster and go after him. And he doesn't think that maybe you can be that monster. That's what I took from it. I could be wrong, but that's kind of was my assessment of it.
I mean, I love that for him, that he thinks he can summarize me like that and make a judgment about my character and my skill set and my presentation like that. He can want whatever he wants out of my presentation. That's my choice, and that's what I'm gonna focus on. He can focus on his own presentation as he has, and he's, as you said, upped his game, evolved in that way. But no, I don't think I trust Eel's judgment of other performers that much, because I took notes as it happens. In your interview with him, he compared Killian McMurphy to a one Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
And I would like to ask, when Killian McMurphy is like Shaq, when has Killian McMurphy ever been similar to Shaq? Maybe when Shaq's sitting down, for example.
Maybe maybe the Shaq that got swept in the finals by Jordan.
I just don't think I trust Eel's judgment on other people's character and other people's presentation and who they. It just seems like his sense of reality is a little warped, if you ask me.
Yeah, I thought the Shaq comparison was. I mean, I kind of got what he was getting at. I think he felt in terms of style, but again, that's Eel seem to be very complimentary of certain folks and not so complimentary of others. It's everybody's like that.
You got people you like, people you jive with, people you don't. But to make that comparison is absolute, just this absurdity. It's absurd.
And you're right. And Christmas trios, we saw it, just to kind of roll back to it. You took a shot, but you kicked him in the face. You stood there. He looked at you. You looked at him. You were ready to go. You hit him, and then he
tags himself right out.
Yeah. And just in that moment, I understand your focus. It's a trios match, and trios matches are the event was a big event. But in that moment, what was your thinking? What was your reaction?
In that moment, I don't have like a personal reaction. I don't have an emotional reaction. I can look back on it with clearer vision and say like, that's funny that you would talk all this big game and then we have a chance to actually fight each other and you get out of dodge. But in the moment, no, I'm thinking as a competitor, and I'm thinking as, okay, what's next? Who's coming in? Who do I have to mess up now? Because that's my only motivation. When I'm in the ring, I'm just looking for, and his hilarious line about being desperate for wins. Being desperate for wins. First of all, I'm not going to brag about being desperate. That's not my style, Eel. But I mean, I'm a focused athlete, focused competitor, focused individual when I'm in that ring. So I didn't have an emotional reaction to him tagging out. I just thought, okay, who's coming in? Who do I have to adjust to now? Being desperate for wins is so funny to me, because if he were actually desperate for wins, would he not fight me? He thinks, oh, he doesn't want me at, my silly, my caricature level. He wants me at that next level of an animal, an athlete. If you're so desperate for wins and you want your record to speak for yourself, Eel, why wouldn't you just take the win then, buddy? You've got mixed messages here. And by the way, you want to talk about records mattering and wins mattering? I'm undefeated at Pro Wrestling Magic. I'm undefeated in singles matches at Camp Leapfrog.
Oh.
So I hate to break it to you, bud, but using your own logic against you in this warped sense of reality that you have going on, you don't even make sense to yourself, Eel.
All right, that's kind of that's a lot.
Yeah, sorry, I got a little.
No, don't apologize, because this is, as this comes out, talking to Eel, talking to you, when this happens, and this is gonna happen. You two are gonna end up in that ring one-on-one. He's not gonna have anyone to tag. You're gonna be there, and this is gonna have to get settled. Someone's just got to book it. Synergy, don't care. Tell me where. I'm getting in the car, and I'm gonna drive and go watch this.
Hell yeah. And I think it's funny though. We do get booked in like trios matches, or like he shows, he shows himself on Twitter and social media to be this big, he wants this match. He wants that. He's desperate for the wins. He wants me at my best. But then not really pushing for the singles booking, is he? We get together in the trios, or maybe down the line there'll be a tag or something like that. But it just feels like he's not going to commit to the singles. Like he and Jordan have so much going and professionally for them as a tag team, and he puts a lot of energy and focus onto that. But singles matches, maybe that's just not his priority right now. Maybe he's not being fully honest with himself as to why he doesn't want this match. I don't know. But You're right. Whenever it does happen, whoever does book it, money.
I mean, Kings of the District, I'll be talking to Jordan in a couple of weeks. Be through Jazz to talk.
Love Jordan.
Maybe it'll take something like where you get a tag partner, you can get, the Kings of the District will step into that ring, you get the win there, and then he'll relent and be like, okay, we can singles this now.
So what you're saying is, if me and Big Boar kick their asses,
that might be what it takes.
He might acquiesce.
I don't think
he might acquiesce to a singles match.
I don't think it's an acquiesce. I think it's more of the way he's kind of wired. If you and Big Boar step in that ring and put the boots to him and you get the W, he'll have to, mentally, he'll be like, I need this to happen. And then he'll be the one that wants the match and wants the match.
On his time. Yeah.
On his time.
That's how he operates. That's how he operates. On his time, it's his volition. can't be backed into a corner. He doesn't want the mind games. I think that's part of this, right? Like he says he wants me to take it seriously. He doesn't want me to go into something half-assed or not taking it as seriously as I could. And it's like, well, dude, you know what? That's part of competition. You can't let your opponent get into your head like that just because you think they're not taking it seriously. You can't let someone, dictate the pace of play because you're assuming where their head is at. That's not an athlete's mindset.
Could be, honestly, maybe you're just living in his head rent free.
I think that's true. I think that's true no matter what.
Well, Erica, thank you so much. I know you don't have much time today, but folks, Friday night into Saturday, 24 hours of wrestling GCW. It's an Indiegogo. It's to help fund these folks, to keep folks in money as we move through this weird time. Saturday,
there is a donate button on all the graphics, all the posts. There should be a link to donate. Camp Leapfrog is at 9 a.m. on Saturday. Hot Girl Shit is at noon on Saturday. There's so much wrestling to be had. Don't miss it.
And you can find Erica at Erica Wrestles, me at Matt P. Douglas. Again, Erica, thank you so much. Again, friend of the show. We don't have a lot right now, but you're probably number one, right?
Wow. Wow. Here we are. I love it. Matt, thank you so much for having me back on. It's always so much fun talking to you.
Yep. And have a good one. Thank you so much, Erica. Folks, again, Friday night, do it.